The objectives of this video lecture are: number one, to explain the concept of hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer development over flat plate surface. Number two, to explain the concept of thermal boundary layer development over a flat plate. And number three, to explain their significance in forced convection heat transfer, and also to find out the relationship between these two. So let us start our discussion with the hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer development over a flat plate. In short, I will call it as a VBL. Development of a boundary layer on a surface of a flat plate due to the no slip condition. Let us consider a flat plate of some finite length L. Let us consider a parallel flow of a fluid over this flat surface. The coordinate x can be measured along the length of the flat surface from the leading edge in the direction of flow. So this will be the x direction, and y direction is measured from the flat surface in the normal direction. So this will be the normal direction, that is y direction. Let the fluid is flowing over this flat plate with a free constant velocity v, which is identical equal to the free stream velocity u infinity at some distance and away from the flat plate surface. Now, for the sake of analysis, the fluid is assumed to consist of layers, adjacent layers that are piled on top of each other. So I will consider this fluid consisting of different layers flowing one over another with a approach velocity v. Now the fluid layer, which is in contact with this stationary flat plate, will also come in the state of rest. That is, molecule of this adjacent layer to the stationary flat plate will have a zero velocity, and this is called as no slip condition. This fluid layer will cause the slowdown of the fluid layers, the fluid particles of the adjacent layers because of frictional effects. So their velocity will be reducing slightly. Once again, this fluid layer will again slow down the velocity of the fluid particles adjacent to it and slow down their velocity from v to some reduced value, and this process will go on and on. So what is happening because of this no slip condition, or because of the fluid particle which is coming into contact with this stationary flat plate, the velocity gradient is created away from the flat surface in the y direction. That is, fluid velocity will be 0 at y equal to 0, that is at the flat plate surface, and fluid velocity will be approximately, or I can say approach velocity at some distance delta. So the distance in which the distance y in which there exists a velocity gradient in the fluid layers by virtue of no slip condition is called as boundary layer, velocity boundary layer or hydrodynamic boundary layer. So this phenomena can take place at any distance, let's say x from the leading edge. So as we move away from the leading edge, the velocity gradient will be existing and the boundary layer or velocity boundary layer formation will take place, and the thickness of this boundary layer will grow as we move away from the leading edge. So here, as you can see, the velocity of the fluid layer is 0 and it is gradually increasing as we are moving away from the plate surface in the y direction. So at this distance delta, normal to the plate in the y direction, when the free stream velocity is 99% of approach velocity, so this distance delta is called as velocity boundary layer or hydrodynamic boundary layer. At this point, the zero velocity at the surface is occurred because of no slip condition. So essentially what is happening, because of this no slip condition, velocity boundary layer formation is taking place, and this velocity boundary layer region is dividing the flowing over the flat plate essentially into two regions. One is the boundary layer region up to the distance delta, and in this distance the effects of viscous forces are very high and velocity gradients will exist. Above this boundary layer thickness delta, inviscid flow region will be there, where effect of viscous forces are negligible and free stream velocity will be almost equal to the approach velocity, or relative velocity of the fluid layers will become almost equal to the approach velocity. That means there will be no velocity gradient will occur. So this is the development of hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer when a fluid is flowing with some velocity over a stationary flat plate. Now, as we move away from the leading edge, the thickness of the boundary layer or velocity boundary layer will be increasing. At this point, the boundary layer thickness is delta, which will subsequently be growing as we are moving away from the leading edge. So at this point, as you can see here, the boundary layer thickness has grown up. This is because of, as we move away from the leading edge of the flat plate, viscous shear forces, more and more viscous shear forces and their effects are coming into picture, which causes more and more fluid particles to retard in the y direction, and as a result of this, velocity boundary layer thickness increases. Also, the velocity boundary layer formation is also affected by the velocity of the fluid. So if velocity of the fluid is such that the Reynolds number is in the range of 5 into 10 to power 5, so flow will be laminar and thickness of boundary layer will be smaller. When the Reynolds number value is in the transition range for flat plate, that is, Reynolds number value will be varying from 5 into 10 to power 5 to 10 to power 6. The boundary layer thickness will be in the transition phase. And when the Reynolds number is more than 10 to power 6, the flow will become turbulent, and under such condition as well, the boundary layer thickness will be increasing due to turbulence created. So this way, the Reynolds number or velocity of the fluid will also affect the development of velocity boundary layer over a flat plate. So this is called as laminar boundary layer region up to the Reynolds number value of 5 to 10 to power 5. From 5 to 10 to power 5 to 10 to power 6, it is called as transition region. And from 10 to power 6 above Reynolds number value, it is called as turbulent boundary layer. In turbulent boundary layer, basically three types of layers are formed. At a distance, at a very small distance from the flat plate surface, laminar sublayer is formed. Then next to the laminar sublayer formed is buffer layer, and next to the buffer layer formed is turbulent layer. Laminar sublayer and buffer layer are very thin. Their thickness is very small, but turbulent layer is highly thick. So what is actually velocity boundary layer? Velocity boundary layer is nothing but locus of pinnacle of all the boundary layer thickness. See, this is also boundary layer thickness. This is also boundary layer thickness. This is also boundary layer thickness. So if we join all these points by a smooth curve, this curve is called as velocity boundary layer. And as we have discussed, this velocity boundary layer divides the flow field in two regions. Below this velocity boundary layer, there exists velocity gradient, and above this velocity boundary layer, it is called as free stream region or inviscid flow region, where no velocity gradient exists and fluid velocity, free stream velocity is almost equal to the approach velocity. And the variation of the velocity from the flat plate surface till the velocity become equal to free stream velocity, it is called as velocity profile. So beyond this velocity boundary layer, fluid velocity will be equal to the approach velocity. Now let us discuss some salient point about this hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer formation over a flat plate. So the region of the flow above the plate bounded by the fluid, in which the effects of viscous shearing forces caused by the fluid velocity are felt, is called the velocity boundary layer. That is, by virtue of these viscous forces and no slip condition, one region is formed near to the plate surface where velocity gradient is existing, and this region is called as velocity boundary layer. The boundary layer thickness delta is defined as the distance y from the flat plate surface at which free stream velocity is almost equal to the 99% of approach velocity. This hypothetical line where the free stream velocity is 99% of approach velocity, that is velocity boundary layer, divides the flow over a flat plate into two regions. The first boundary layer region, and it is very thin, adjoining to the flat surface, where the viscous forces or effects are very large, and velocity gradients or changes are significant, and in the second region above this velocity boundary layer region is the inviscid flow region. This is the region outside the boundary layer where viscous effects are negligible and velocity gradients are zero and velocity remains nearly equal to the free stream velocity and essentially remains constant. Laminar sublayer. Laminar sublayer, a very thin layer adjacent to the wall where the viscous forces are dominating, is called the laminar sublayer. The velocity profile in this layer is nearly linear and the flow is laminar. Though laminar sublayer is formed in turbulent region, but because of highly viscous forces, the flow tends to be laminar and velocity profile is almost linear. Buffer layer. Buffer layer is the layer in which the turbulent effects are significant but not as that of the dominant of diffusion effect. It is formed next to the laminar sublayer. Then turbulent layer. Turbulent layer is formed next to the buffer layer in which turbulent effects are dominants and because of which the, the length or the thickness of the turbulent layer is very high. The boundary layer growth is also governed by other parameters such as the magnitude of the incoming velocity and kinematic viscosity of the flowing fluid. If the incoming velocities are very high, there would be less time for viscous forces to act and to affect the flow field, and accordingly there will be less quantum of boundary layer thickness delta at a particular distance from the leading edge. That is why if the fluid velocity is very high, the boundary layer formation phenomena many times does not take place. And moreover, the boundary layer thickness is greater for the fluids with greater kinematic viscosity, because fluid with greater kinematic viscosity will have more viscous effect offered to the fluid flow, which will cause the boundary layer thickness to increase. Now let us discuss few more aspects. If leading edge of the flat plate is very sharp and smooth, then shape of the velocity boundary layer, under this condition, the velocity shape of the velocity profile will have three distinct zones: laminar region, transition region, and turbulent region. Flow will be starting boundary and it will be laminar first, then it will undergo transition and then it will undergo turbulent. But if the leading edge of the flat plate is blunt and rough, then shape of the velocity boundary layer will be, because of the roughness, the boundary layer will be, the flow will be turbulent right from the starting, and the velocity boundary layer formation will be in the turbulent region. So this is all about the development of hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer formation over a flat plate. Now let us discuss the thermal boundary layer development over a flat plate. So let us first discuss the thermal boundary layer on a flat plate where fluid is hotter than the plate surface. Let us consider a plate at surface temperature Ts and a fluid with velocity V and free stream temperature T infinity is flowing over this flat plate. Here fluid is hotter than surface, so T infinity is greater than Ts. Now at the surface, zero temperature difference at the surface will occur, and that is called as no temperature jump condition. What does it mean? Any fluid particle which is in contact with the flat surface, its temperature for this fluid particle which is in contact with this flat surface, its temperature will become equal to the temperature of the surface, that is Ts, and this condition is called as no temperature jump condition. Any fluid layer flowing over this layer having the fluid particle temperature Ts will transfer its heat to this, and its temperature will also decreasing from free steam temperature T infinity, and this heat transfer phenomena will take place from one layer to the another. So because of this, what is happening at a distance y from the flat surface, a temperature gradient is existing. Temperature of the fluid is varying Ts at y equal to 0 to almost equal to free steam temperature at some distance, and this distance is called as thermal boundary layer thickness. So this way, thermal boundary layer formation takes place when a hot fluid is flowing over a cold plate, and this is called as thermal boundary layer thickness, delta T. And thermal boundary layer thickness is the thickness at which temperature gradient T minus Ts over T infinity minus Ts is 0.99. Beyond this point, the temperature of the fluid will be almost equal to the free steam temperature. Also, this thermal boundary layer thickness divides the temperature field in two regions. The region below the thermal boundary layer is a region where temperature gradient exists, and the region above the thermal boundary layer where temperature is equal to the free steam temperature T infinity. So because of this no temperature jump condition, the thermal boundary layer formation takes place. So this diagram represents temperature profile, that is variation of temperature from flat plate to at a distance y normal to the flat plate. So further, as we have discussed in the velocity boundary layer, as we move away from the leading edge of this surface, the thickness of the thermal boundary layer increases because heat transfer effects are felt at a greatest distance in the y direction, and because of this, thermal boundary layer thickness increases. Also, the formation of thermal boundary layer phenomena is affected by the value of Reynolds number. So it will be the thermal boundary layer will be in the laminar region if Reynolds number value is 5 into 10 to power 5. It will be in transition region if the value of Reynolds number is from 5 into 10 to power 5 to 10 to power 6, and it will be in turbulent boundary region if Reynolds number value is more than 10 to power 6, and this hypothetical curve is called as thermal boundary layer. Above this temperature, below this thermal boundary layer, temperature gradient will exist by virtue of temperature jump condition, and above this temperature of the fluid will be equal to free stream temperature. In the similar fashion, I can discuss the development of thermal boundary layer on a flat plate. Now, if the plate surface is hotter and the fluid is cold. So, if a cold fluid is flowing over the hot surface, the temperature of the fluid which is in contact with the surface will be equal to the surface temperature, that is Ts, and because of temperature difference between the two fluid particles of the adjacent layer, temperature will go on decreasing as we move away from the plate surface in the y direction, and the distance at which temperature gradient T minus T infinity over Ts minus T infinity is 0.99 is called as thermal boundary layer thickness. So shape of the temperature profile when a cold fluid is flowing over a hot surface is opposite to that of temperature profile when hot fluid is flowing over a cold fluid. And the same phenomena will take place as we move away from the leading edge. The temperature profile shape and hence thermal boundary layer thickness will grow in size because of effects of more and more heat transfer is felt at a greater distance in the y direction, and it is also affected by the value of Reynolds number. For the value of Reynolds number 5 into 10 to power 5, it will be laminar region. From 5 into 10 to power 5 to 10 to power 6 Reynolds number value, it will be in transition range, and above 10 to power 6 the flow will be in turbulent boundary layer region. So let us define the thickness of the thermal boundary layer. The thickness of the thermal boundary layer at any location along the flat plate surface is defined as the distance from the surface at which the temperature difference T minus Ts equal to 0.99 of infinity minus Ts. For the special case, if the surface temperature is 0, we can have temperature at any distance y is equal to 0.99 T infinity at the outer edge of the thermal boundary layer, and that is analogous to the u is equal to 0.99 of u infinity for the velocity boundary layer. Now the shape of this temperature profile. Now the shape of the temperature profile in the thermal boundary layer dictates the convective heat transfer between a solid surface and fluid flowing over it. So that is why for study of development of thermal boundary layer for a flat plate is very important aspect in order to find out how it is going to affect the heat transfer rate from surface to the fluid flowing over it. In flow over a heated or cooled surface, both velocity and thermal boundary layers will develop simultaneously. So whenever a fluid, hot or cold fluid is flowing over a cold or hot surface, the velocity boundary layer and thermal boundary layer formation will take place simultaneously. And the fluid velocity will have a strong influence on the temperature profile. The development of the velocity boundary layer relative to the thermal boundary layer will have a strong effect on the convective heat transfer. So basically what is happening, by virtue of formation of velocity boundary layer and thermal boundary layer, the convective heat transfer rate from surface to the fluid or vice versa will get affected. It also depends upon thickness of thermal boundary layer is more than the velocity boundary layer or a vice versa. Now link between velocity boundary layer and thermal boundary layer, and this link is given by Prandtl number. Prandtl number is a connecting link between the velocity field and the temperature field, and its value is strongly influences the relative growth of the velocity and thermal boundary layers. And mathematically, this relationship between delta and delta t is given by delta by delta t is equal to Prandtl number over n, where delta is velocity boundary layer thickness, delta t is thermal boundary layer thickness, n is positive exponent. So when Prandtl number is more than 1, that is for oil, thickness of the velocity boundary layer will be more than the thermal boundary layer thickness. When Prandtl number is almost equal to 1, like for gases, delta will be almost equal to delta T, and for liquid metals, Prandtl number is very low, that is less than 1. So delta will have less than delta T. So I can sum up, thermal boundary layer is much thicker for liquid metals and much thinner for oil relative to the velocity boundary. So this Prandtl number can help us to find out which boundary layer phenomena will grow faster as compared to the other, thermal boundary layer or velocity boundary layer. So after watching this video, you will be able to explain the concept of hydrodynamic or velocity boundary layer. You will be able to explain the concept of thermal boundary layer, and you will be able to explain their significance in force convection heat transfer phenomena. With this, I come to an end of this video lecture. Thank you for passionate listening. Happy learning.